What is going on, guys? This is your boy XQ420 welcoming y'all back. Another episode, Showtime with the Cube. We've got the entire panel with us this afternoon. The powerful one, Corey Hughes. Corey, are you okay? Are you all right this afternoon?
Super powerful today.
Super powerful. Overpowered. Maybe. Potentially. The aficionado himself, Ryder Lee. Ryder, are you doing all right?
Doing great, X-Cube. Just finished it up.
And when he says finished up, he's not talking about anything innuendo wise. He's talking about the Mandalorian. Okay, the latest episode.
You never know, dude. You don't know what's going on the waist below on these shows, dude. I could be completely naked right now. I might not even have pants on. Who knows?
You can't see anything. A little bit of housekeeping. If it's the first time watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Listen to us on podcast platforms. Hit the follow button there if you have not yet. We appreciate everybody who's been checking us out so far. So we're going to do the Mandalorian episode 2 and 3. We're going to do a little mashup, seeing how we missed last week. Had a little bit of conflict of but I won't say interest, but schedules. Everybody had a lot going on, so we're going to do a mashup this week. So let's go ahead and let's dive into episode 2, which Mando makes it to the living waters. Okay, I mean, and you want to talk about something that was not dramatic at all. Like, I was looking for something just a little bit more dramatic. Corey, let me know your thoughts about Mando and his plight, his journey to the living waters. How'd you feel about it?
Okay, so we're going to have to back up just a little bit because Mando, for some reason, felt the need to go back to the Mandalorian cult people who, as we learned, were really more of a kind of heretical cult compared to like mainstream Mandalorian society, right? So the whole not removing the helmet thing was a weird cult thing. It wasn't just part of how Mandalorians normally were, right? So I was shocked by his decision to attempt to go back to them. Number one. So he goes back to them and they tell him he's got to bathe in the waters if he wants to be. And I'm thinking, these goddamn posers who probably never even been to Mandalore are trying to get him to go and do some ancient Mandalorian stuff. This doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't see the need for him to go there because the people telling him to go there aren't legit Mandalorians, if I'm not mistaken. The hot Mandalorian chick from Battlestar Galactica, right? She's a legit Mandalorian. She doesn't need to do the helmet thing, right? So I thought his coming to understand that and then returning to the initial cult, maybe because it's all he knew, who knows? They didn't really treat him that great the last time. So the whole idea of him going back there in the first place and then having to return to Mandalore, I don't know how to feel about it.
I mean, the cult doesn't seem that great. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I don't see any type of like orgy parties. I don't see nobody's drinking. There's no shooting of the dice. I don't see any dice being shot. So, Ryder, what do you think? I mean, is this the cult you want to go back to? Is this the one? It's going to suck you back in.
Yeah, and Doja Cat or whatever her name is. What's her name?
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. She doesn't give a shit about the whole tradition. She's just strolling around with her helmet off the entire time. Like, why doesn't she care? Why is it only the Mando?
You're sitting in her castle by herself with her droid.
For the second time. What you called it Cube, whenever you said next time we see her, she's going to be sitting in the exact same position. And what do you know? She was sitting in the exact same position doing whatever stoic.
Her leg was cocked up. Leg was cocked up, like she was waiting.
Yeah.
Who you waiting for, Bo-Cat? You waiting for me? I mean, I'm just waiting. Are you waiting for your boy Q? I mean, I ain't gonna be able to make it there. I'm sorry. You can go ahead, Ryder. That's my bad.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to take a little bit more time of him actually getting to Mandalore and going to bathe in the waters, you know. But I kind of did like the fact that there was more action in this episode. You know, there was more stuff going on, but there still wasn't a setup for any kind of bad guy in this episode at all. You know, they fought what? What did they fight? Weren't those like AI drones or some shit, like those robotic creatures that they encountered that
you talking about with the green eyes and stuff?
Yeah, that thing that captures
in the
Mando.
caves.
Yeah, in the caves. I don't know what
Oh
that
no,
was.
no! You talking about when they the ones that golly, that are scavengers?
No, but there
You
was like
talking
a
about those?
there was like a robot thing. There was two like robot things that captured Mando and had him like in a cage or like whatever. And then there was that one little fucking robot dude with the green eye or whatever that was kind of doing the experiment or doing whatever he was going to do. Stuck Mando with the blood drawing.
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah. You talking about in the cave? Yeah, the spider looking eye thing.
Yeah, there was
Damn,
like
that was
two of
Corey. You know what that was? Do you know?
Not offhand.
Yeah, I don't know. It was some type of. Obviously, the body of it wasn't that big. It was more like a little brain with an eye, and it had all this contraption that somehow it built. I guess it used the whatever creatures were still left on the Mandalorian planet to help it build this particular.
So the
contraption.
The whole episode was 37 minutes long, and it basically was him going to his people, and they telling him got to go bathe in the waters, and he goes to bathe in the waters. So at some point
he did fight. He did fight along the way.
He fought along the way, yeah, he did. But so at some point in time, he becomes incapacitated, and so little Yoda. What's little Yoda's name?
Grogu.
Grogu, that's right. Man, that's the look on your face like I'm supposed to know this.
Man said little Yoda. What's that cat's name? Oh, that's good. That's good.
So little
Yoda.
Yoda had to go and take the fucking it was actually a Naboo fighter, and he takes the Naboo fighter and he takes it back to meet up with old Straddle and Pants. What's her face?
Bo Katan.
Yeah,
Doja Cat.
That's a name.
So,
Bo Katan.
I like Straddle and Pants better.
Hey, she's ready. Leg pin up. I told you not to come back. I want to die here alone. Okay. That's what you say. I want to die alone. It's just Grogu. What's happened to Mando? I said, dang, you all of a sudden interested in the dude now. I thought you were ready to die alone. You're ready to shoot him in the chest. Now you're ready to go save him. She jumps right in. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to save him.
So the episode for me didn't really do a whole lot other than bridge a gap between her and these these cultists, right? And that's what I'll call them from now on, because they're cultists, right? So they don't take the helmet off, whereas that wasn't tradition. Might have been old tradition that they don't know nothing about. That's kind of funny about people taking an old tradition from thousands of years ago that they don't know nothing about and taking it as their own. Kind of interesting analogy. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. I'm talking about Star Wars. All right, so
hey. Where are you heading with this? Hey, but we had a dark saber moment with
I still don't understand the dark saber. The dark saber, shouldn't that be like some kind of Jedi thing, or was it like a Boba Fett Jedi who had the dark saber?
Well, here's the thing. I've been looking it up because, of course, I didn't watch Boba Fett. I still haven't watched Boba Fett. And I just don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to it. But they got up here. It said Ren explains the Darksaber and why it's so heavy in an episode of Star Wars Rebels, which is the cartoon. So if you didn't watch that, you also don't know what the fuck's going on. But she says energy constantly flows through the crystal. You're not fighting with a simple blade as much as you are directing a current of power. Your thoughts, your actions, they become energy. So you have to become one with the blade. Okay.
That sounds like a fail. I just want to pull the trigger and have the thing work. I don't want to have to be noble to wield it.
Yeah, with the lights, your nobility has to be high. Okay, you can't just be some jump off the street.
There have been some changes. There have been some changes in lightsaber lore, and I think they're rather important to cover. And this becomes apparent throughout some of the stories and even into like Knights of the Old Republic, whereas all of the lightsaber crystals, the kyber crystals, right? So all of the different kyber, and there was only a couple colors, right? There was like blue and purple and like green and like yellow,
Red.
and that was it. No. I'll get there. So
I'm sorry.
there were no red kyber crystals. The only people who had the red lightsabers were the Sith, and because their hatred for everything and their use of the dark side corrupts the crystal in the lightsaber and turns it red. That was like the original lore of lightsabers for as long as forever, until recently, where they have changed it in some of the games and changed it, I believe, in some of these TV shows. But yeah, so that's the history of kyber crystals in a nutshell.
Well, if you notice, the purple lightsaber is not used a lot because the purple lightsaber is someone who wields both light and dark, which is why Mace Windu had his.
Is that on paper
which
somewhere?
Which is why they say, huh?
Is that written down somewhere?
Yeah. I'm pretty positive. Like I've watched a couple of guys whose channel is nothing but covering Star Wars, which I'm like, damn. I'm
Those
talking
guys go
about
off
they've
the
been
deep
covering
end.
Star Wars for 10 years, Bo. I mean, they reading books. You know what I'm saying? they got a monocle out. You know what I'm saying? they looking at damn shit in between the lines. Oh man, they got something in between here. They're like, oh, you see that? It's like, no, man, I don't see nothing. Like, put this monocle up there. I'm like, I still don't see anything. It's a blow on the paper, man. It's a secret message. You don't see the message. I mean, like, no, man, you're smoking crack.
You smoke
man.
crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
Which is really funny because I remember watching the behind-the-scenes footage for Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith with George Lucas and Samuel L. Jackson. And there was this question that was given to George Lucas, why did you make Samuel L. Jackson's lightsaber purple? And apparently it was just because Samuel L. Jackson wanted a purple lightsaber. So George Lucas gave him a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, actually, in the lore, when I was sitting there looking at Mace Windu, he's one of the few that actually used the dark side of the Force as a Jedi, and so like he doesn't go and actually train people with that because most of the time it corrupts them. So they say that's why he was actually able to easily defeat Palpatine before Anakin ambushed him and cut his arm off. That's what because he was able to actually tap into the dark side of the Force. That's what I've seen on multiple channels as far as Star Wars lore. Now, these folks are reading novels and all that stuff, so directly canon, not exactly sure there, but it seems the Darksaber, you might even have to have something different than that. It's almost like Mjolnir, you know. You have to be deemed worthy, or either that or you have to let the energy flow through you. Isn't there something else where you had to let the energy flow through you before you could use it? Wasn't there some other type of weapon like that? You had to be chosen. King Arthur.
Oh yes,
Pull the sword out. You know what I'm saying? So you always got to be chosen. You got to be one with the Force. You got to be one with the wind. You got to be one with the water. You got to be one with something. Okay, and I just want to be the one that's able to pick this damn Darksaber up and use it, and not be dragging this bitch around.
When he's using it looks so fucking heavy, man. It looks like he's like fucking like 10 sledgehammers, man. It's so heavy.
I'm just like, man, you will get your ass kicked. You done whip this out. You can't even swing the bitch, man. I'm like, man, that should not be your weapon of choice. You need some more training with that thing. Could Luke not help him out? Could Luke not give him a few pointers? Did the Jedi know anything about the Darksaber?
They must have.
I don't even know.
They had to have. I mean, they know all that stuff, right? So it had to be written.
They don't even want to touch it. They said, don't even bring the Darksaber near us, okay? We don't want to associate with it.
Once Hottie Battlestar Galactica shows up, I forget what her name is.
Bo-Katan.
Yeah,
Bo-Katan.
Once she shows up, and she saves the day, but Homeboy gets pulled down into the water. Now, this I thought was kind of interesting, and it alluded to something, and I hope it's not just a dead end. But he gets pulled down in the water by some kind of like underwater creature, if I'm not mistaken. That was what it appeared to me. And so then when he gets out of the water, she asks him if he saw anything down there in the water, if he saw a creature down there or some kind of animal down there.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't mention it. But the fact that she asked and it took up, 15 seconds of screen time tells me there's some kind of significance between her and something that was down there in the water. Why would they bring it up? I don't see it as being filler. It had too much personal significance to her to be filler, so I don't understand what they're doing there. But there's something there.
Look, did he actually get pulled down, or he just slipped? You know what I'm saying? He was walking, and all of a sudden his head just fell in. That's what it kind of looked. And Bo, he about drowned. You know what I'm saying? His bath about turned into his ass drowning. I was like, what is this? I'm like, Bo, Mandalorian been kicking ass, and he gonna drown? He gonna slip and drown? Right? What do you think about that, man?
Yeah, I think the pit was because it's referenced in the third episode that the pit had been expanded through the whatever had happened on Mandalore, and it wasn't meant to be that deep. But my original thought is this monster came up and grabbed his leg and drug him down through there. But I don't think that was the case. I think he just the pit had been opened up more, and then he just took a step, and then he just went straight down and passed out or whatever. But the interesting part was that Bo-Katan seen a weird freaking creature down there, and who knows what that was. And that looks like what they were reading about on that plaque or whatever that was in the down there in the bottom of the what is it, the mines, in the bottom of the mines, in the mines of Mandalore. It looked like it was that thing, and it looks like it's sparking her interest to get back into this cult thing, right? Because I feel like she didn't believe it before. She kind of, strayed from the way. She strayed from the path a little bit, and then
she probably had like a hot girl summer or something like that. You think so?
Yeah, munching on carpets, freaking scissoring people, and all that shit, all that good stuff. And then she was like, "Nah, this occult stuff isn't for me because they're not scissoring anybody in these cults. They're not munching on any carpets in these cults. I'm out. Peace." And then this is kind of renewing her interest because she talks about how her dad would make her recite all of these previous old stories and everything. So it kind of seems like that she's getting a little bit of truth from what she remembers from the ancient past that her dad was relaying to her about the myths and all that of ancient Mandalore. And that light bulb's going off in her head, and she's kind of like, oh, hey, maybe some of this stuff is real. So,
yeah, they got the mythosaur down there. The mythosaurus.
Yep.
It's a dinosaur. Some type of I see it look like some type of tusk creature. I'm just like, man, that's gonna eat y'all. But then it didn't do anything, and then we go right into episode 3. They just sitting there by the waters. I'm like, is this thing about to jump up out the water and attack them? And no, it doesn't. I was like, okay. I mean, is that going to come back around? Or was that just a one-off? I mean, I don't know.
I think it's going to come back around because skipping ahead here pretty far, but at the very end of episode 3, she looks on the wall in that little enclave of cult people, and then there's that creature. There's like that little sculpture or whatever. The mythosaurus is on the wall, and she's like kind of looking at it like, oh shit, So
that's what's that called? That's the Bacta, isn't it? What is that?
It might be that. I'd rather call it the mythosaurus though. Look, we're not bringing you technical terms here. I mean, it might be the Corey's gonna get us a technical term though. So we can be savvy Star Wars listeners and viewers. Okay, we want to be savvy to this. But while Corey's looking that up, I thought it was kind of weird how all of a sudden they just get attacked by TIE fighters. I'm just like, man,
that is the mythosaur.
Man, is it?
Yes.
Damn, cute.
Oh man! Hey, there we go. Hey, I mean, every blind squirrel finds a nut eventually, right? Man, I'm just talking out my ass, and the hell, I was right. Damn, it's a damn mythosaur.
Go buy a fucking lottery ticket, my friend.
Guys, this is up on the screen. This is real. This is straight from. I've used this page before too when we were doing Andor. Because Andor had a lot of information, so you had to go back and relook at stuff. unlike some of these other shows. But yeah, there it is, guys. Y'all see it up on the screen. Mythosaur. Let's see. There were creatures of gigantic proportions found on the outer rim world of Mandalore. So, hey, the mines of Mandalore were the Mythosaur lair. So, I mean, I don't know if it ate folks. Did it eat people? You know what I'm saying?
I think it was pretty badass.
People?
And like how you proved yourself was by killing one of those things when you were a Mandalorian.
That was the skull that was on the wall of one of those Mythosaurs.
Yeah.
That was the skull that's on the wall. So that's how you proved yourself. Now, as I said, we're diving into this to the third episode. They're coming back. Did they just all of a sudden get attacked by TIE fighters? It just seems kind of random. I mean,
I noticed a couple things in this third episode. So
okay.
I had to think about this through, and I had to think of the timeline. And so we are talking currently. We are within 5 years of Return of the Jedi. Is that the case?
Mm-hmm.
The Republic is just starting.
The New Republic. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The next thing from here is going to be the first of the trilogy movies, the new trilogy, right? Which is another how many years later? Luke, you got to think if it's only 5 years later, Luke's only about 30, and he's about 60 something in the newest movies, right? So
yeah, 50 or 60, yeah.
So you got to think it's another 30 years from right now in the storyline timeline before you have the New Order. And so there's some interesting things going on here in this show, in this episode in particular, because what starts out with as part of seemingly like an episode of The Mandalorian very quickly turns and starts to feel like an episode of something else in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of Andor, maybe a little bit of who knows. But let me see if I can explain my feelings over and see if I can attempt to explain what I interpret as what they're trying to do here. So we have this group of people who are obviously ex-Empire, right? And they're being they had to go through reindoctrination camps, and they don't have names, they're assigned numbers. And to some degree, they're a bit dehumanized a little bit, right? But they're trying to get them adapted to make sure they're not spies, make sure they're not, going to sabotage stuff. This is the impression I'm getting of these people, right? And so we only see a small sampling of them, but it was the entire empire. So there's got to be millions of these people throughout the galaxy. But on Coruscant in particular, you have these, they're resettled or resettlers or what, I forget what term they use for them. But
that seems like a good term. We'll stick with that.
One of the guys who is in this resettlement camp is a doctor who worked on the cloning for the Empire. And so part of the feeling I got when I watched this was that they were trying to humanize and show some logistical transition from the Empire to the how these people are getting normalized, right? And so I give them a lot of credit, and I applaud the fact that they're trying to fill in some human dots here, right? They're trying to show a human side of the Empire, right? And so that I thought was pretty cool. Now, the basic theme of this episode is, and the character's name, Mr. Name Guy, the main character in this particular episode, who was being resettled, is a doctor, and his name is,
I think it's L-52.
L-52. So L-52. Yeah, here we go with the dehumanization through the lack of actual names. But he basically kind of meets this group of other, resettlement people who were ex-Empire, and one of them happened to work on the same ship under Moff Gideon. And Moff Gideon, if you'll recall, which one was Moff Gideon? I don't recall Moff Gideon.
He was the guy.
No, that's the black guy.
The black guy.
That was
the chicken man.
Darksaber from the end of the first season and the second season. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Now I recall. Okay. So yeah, he's the chicken man. And so,
man, that's just a bad term, chicken man. I mean,
that's how the world will know him forever. Los pollos hermanos.
Los pollos hermanos.
Okay.
Sometimes you can be too good at your role, like he was in said Breaking Bad. So yes, he will be the Chicken Man from now till the day he dies. And so basically, there's this friendship that forms between the non-binary character and L54, right? And so, but she encourages him to want to continue his work. And so right from the jump, I felt that the scenario of him being pushed into doing his work again or being allowed to do his work, and the idea that there might be some sort of, underground movement of former Empire people, this struck me as far too convenient right off the bat. So what are your thoughts on it?
I'm not going to lie to you. Oh, no, you go first, Ryder. You ain't talking about it. What was your thoughts on it?
Well, my thoughts were as well, if they're trying to build up this L52 or L55 character, I thought
L52,
maybe
his real name's Dr. Perishing. But they refer to him as L52 in the amnesty camps.
That's not subtle for how the episode plays out at all. Dr. Perishing. But I thought maybe that they were trying to connect this person to the person that created Grogu. Because we know Grogu is like a cloned kind of hybrid, and they're talking about all this CRISPR technology in this episode, the splicing of one DNA and taking from another DNA and creating like this hybridization type of program. And I thought maybe that's the direction that they were going to take it, and he was going to be kind of a big character that maybe Mando later on runs into and realizes that he was the one that created Grogu, which I thought would have been a pretty freaking good plot line and a storyline for like a good overarching arc of these character developments. But then it turns out that, well, we don't really know if he's dead or if he's not dead. But he looks like he's being brain fried. He's being MK Ultra'd to the max, throwing on the mind flare thing, and which is weird because they took the mind flare directly from Stranger Things. I don't think.
Is that right?
Yeah. And now I don't know if the mind flare was something from Star Wars canon way back when or not, but the mind flare is the main character in Stranger Things.
Yeah. Now the woman that befriended him, which I wasn't sure was a woman at first, then I'm like, okay, it is a woman. I had uncertainty early on. Her name's Ellie Kane, so she was part of Moff Gideon's crew. So she's got some type of nefarious plot here, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought I was watching a different fucking show altogether. I said, "What the hell am I watching?" I'm like, I mean, when it came out this, I was like, "Man, I don't see Mando in that in sight." What? They just went into hyperspeed, and I jumped to this, and I was kind of like,
"Well, this is the last season, isn't it?"
No.
Is it?
Of Mandalorian? They haven't announced last season of Mandalorian?
They're going to keep pushing this. They're going to milk this for all they got, bro. There's no way that this is the last season.
Well, then I must be thinking of something else. But then if that's the case, then what they're obviously doing is they're opening up the storyline. They're making it bigger than him because they're probably going to bridge it to something else. What that is, who knows? But aren't there rumors of a follow-up to some of the prequel stuff? Like, what's in the works right now for Star Wars movies?
Now I don't know that all together. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hadn't really heard anything concrete, but the middle of this episode, which actually is the majority of the episode, when I seen the episode when it had a 58-minute runtime, I said, "Damn, that's mighty long. These episodes don't run 58 minutes." I see why. Because most of the episode ain't even about the Mandalorian. I was like, "Damn, bro." I was like, "Okay, all right." So we got this Perishing guy. We got this chick. She's sending choosing signals. I didn't know if she wanted to give him some center cut or not. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't sure. I was like, yeah, but she had him hook, line, sinker, befriended him. Walk a nice long walk. They were eating what they call ice cream ice cream popsicle. You know, hey, I'll help you go get you a kit. I'll get you a mobile kit. I'm like, man, this just seems a little bit too convenient. This chick you don't know from Adam, Bo. You don't know. You know, I'll help you, no problem. I'm like,
take advantage of a guy with the glowing ice cream. Give me a break. I mean, it's just like. So it appears that the corporate stooges over at Disney have a bunch in the works for Star Wars. So let me go over this list a little quickly here. So we got Ashoka, which has not come to fruition yet, has it? Starring Rosario Dawson, supposed to be on Disney Plus. Then we have Rangers of the New Republic. This is another live action based as a spin-off of The Mandalorian, picking up on aspects of season 2. Then we have The Acolyte. Don't know what this is. It says The Acolyte and teased a mystery thriller that will take us into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. That's hundreds of years before Star Wars prequels in the golden era of the Jedi. So not quite as far back as the Old Republic, which is 10,000 years. This is a couple hundred years. So this should be a time frame in Star Wars that no one's ever seen before. Then they are working on Lando Calrissian. What does it say here? Supposed to be Donald Glover. Don't know where that's at. And so that's it for television. It's in the works. And then we have, as far as movies, what we have is Rogue Squadron. The next Star Wars feature set for the big screen will make history as the first in the franchise to be helmed by a female director. Oh, it's going to suck. Patty Jenkins of Wonder Woman. Definitely going to suck. Will usher in a future era of the galaxy with Rogue Squadron, introducing a new generation of starfighter pilots as they earn their wings. Oh, it's going to totally... It's going to be a shit show of diversity.
Corey.
How dare you?
And she's still in her prime, man. Stop, man. She's still in her prime, man. Okay. I'm just letting you know that.
Wonder Woman 1984 sucked so bad, though. So I'm kind of in the camp with Corey on this one.
When you get to the end of a movie,
they keep screwing up with these Star Wars movies. They can't afford to screw up another Star Wars feature-length film. They just can't. They can't afford it. They've screwed up way too many so far. Screwed up The Last Jedi. They screwed up the Han Solo movie. They screwed up Rise of Skywalker. They can't do it again. They just can't. They have to come out with a banger. If they don't, then their whole movie career of Star Wars is down the toilet, and it already is. You have to build back up so far, dude. Like, whenever The Force Awakens came out, everyone was so freaking pumped because you hadn't seen a Star Wars movie in close to, 20 years or 15 years or something. I think when Revenge of the Sith came out in, 2005 or something. But, hey, you can't screw it up. If you're going to do it, you got to do it right. And I don't think that having Patty Jenkins coming off of a stinker like Wonder Woman 1984 is a good pick.
So as per that article, it didn't have anything else that was actually named coming up, but it had at least 4 additional projects. It looked like 2 of them to be full trilogies involving named directors, but with no story or nothing yet. But they've picked out people to do X amount of movies. Looks like about a dozen more fucking movies. So, yeah. Okay. We're going to be hit with that for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. Here's my theory. Dr. Perishing, he is going to be, she is brainwashing him for him to be used for research to bring Palpatine back via clone. That is it.
Okay. Hang on.
That is it.
All right.
I think Palpatine's a clone.
All right. He is a clone, but hang on. You're on to something here. However, here's the thing.
Okay.
Shouldn't we assume that the cloning shit with Palpatine is already underway and has been underway since Palpatine, and that it was probably a clone that died the first time? And that's
this
just
is the
already
guy,
happening.
Yeah, but this is the guy. This seems like the guy. They made it. They Dr. Perishing. They did fucking 40 minutes of Mandalorian with Dr. Perishing. So I'm like, okay, Dr. Perishing, what do you have to offer?
my friend, first the Mythosaur, and then this. If you don't go buy some lottery tickets, my friend, you're gonna regret it the rest of your life. You're nailing shit tonight. It's a good possibility. You're 100% on point with that. I didn't even consider that. I think you might be onto something.
Yeah, because when he was sitting there talking about, because of course right now he wants to use it for good, talking about his parents and how he could have saved them by recreating organs, cloning organs, and this has been simple, But the chick Ellie, not Ellie, damn Kane. Oh, well, her name is Eli, however you say her name, Eli, guys, IA. But she just seems like everything that she does seems nefarious. She just seems like that amnesty be damned. She's still a bad guy. Okay. That's what she is. She's still a bad guy. So, she turned the meter up on that, which will do a complete brain wipe as opposed to what, old Fishhead said, before he left, which is like, oh no, it's very relaxing. It could be relaxing. And he looked like he was having fun at first. Until she cranked that bitch up to 10, and then it looked like it was hurting a little bit. I mean,
yeah, he was looking like he was like zoning out, like into that thing. Like, man, I want to give that a try. And then when she is beyond duplicitous. She's triplicitous, right? She just is backstabbing in every possible fucking way. Gets his hopes up, befriends a guy who got nothing, turns him in, stabs him in the back, cranks his brain up to 10, like, and then she smiled about it, like. Man,
he didn't get no center cut. He ain't get touched no meat, but I mean, right away you think about that, man. At least let the man hit. I mean,
well, he should have known that it was a trap from the very beginning. She's a looking person. He should know that he's not getting nothing from her when it comes to sexual. Never trust the dykes. No, but he even references that in the show. He says it was a trap, which is the old, this old saying from what was it? Return of the Jedi? Not Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
but,
that's right.
Empire Strikes Back, or
no, it's Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. So I like your theory, X Cube, though I don't want to believe it because I'm trying to wipe Rise of Skywalker out of my mind, out of my consciousness, and I think that everybody else is trying to do the exact same thing. So we don't want to believe that Palpatine even came back at all. We just want to.
It just might be too soon. We might be saved by the fact that it might just be too soon for that stuff. We're looking at like 25, 30 years, so.
It could possibly be. He looked like I think he's got 30 more years in him. At least. He's probably 40-ish.
Well, judging by how big of the fleet that Palpatine somehow assembled in a very short amount of time, it kind of seems like the right time frame to be able to do that. I mean, how many ships he had? How many starfighters did he raise up out of the ice with his new magical powers in the Rise of Skywalker? There was hundreds of them, bad boys. So he had to have this in the works for a long period of time. But I just hate that movie so much that.
Well, here's the thing: The Force Awakens had me excited about a Star Wars movie because, of course, when you see the trailers, you see Kylo Ren stop a shot from a blaster midair, and I'm like, I don't think I've seen that shit in Star Wars. I said, man, this is gonna be badass. And then it just kind of fell on his face. I thought that John Boyega's part, the black guy, I thought, okay, well, he's going to end up being, Force, Jedi, all this stuff. But that didn't really come to fruition. And all of a sudden, Rey picks up the lightsaber and she can feel it in her loins and she beats Kylo right at the gate. I'm like, oh no, this is going nowhere. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this man been training. He's been training his whole life. Okay. Rey pick up a lightsaber in 15 minutes. She done whooped that ass. I'm like, they ain't no way. There ain't no way, cuz. I mean, he could have tied his hands behind his back and just threw her around with his brain. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it'd have been just like that. That's what threw me off, man. That whole dynamic there, like they were almost like wanting to be lovers, and then they were like almost brother sister, and it's just like, man, this is just kind of weird. This is like some taboo shit y'all trying to throw on. Y'all trying to throw some taboo stepsister,
honestly, like
stuff, man.
The Star Wars saga is really just an epic about bad parenting. Every goddamn fucking kid gets spit out in this goddamn universe, becomes a total fucking tyrant. Fucking seriously, it's a bunch of bullshit. Right? Nobody should be taking any advice from any of the heroes in fucking Star Wars ever.
Just bad parenting around the board. Okay, don't take any advice from. We're gonna get back to the Mandalorian, guys. Okay, so perishing. We gave you our thoughts about that. It was actually a major part of the episode. Like you see, and we forgot to tell people, Bo-Katan ain't got nowhere to sit no more. She ran out of place to sit. That's why she went back to the cult. Because the spot that she wanted to go sit at, that shit blown up. I mean, they blew the hell. That's what didn't make no sense. I'm like, why the hell all of a sudden they just going and blowing her crib up?
Right.
Where'd this come from?
Do we sense a connection here between this larger fleet of X-Wing? These weren't X-Wing fighters. These were TIE fighters. These were the wide TIE fighters. These were they were the double seat TIE fighters, right? So, but then there was a whole slew of them came in, and so they even said this is bigger than some warlord. And so, are we starting to see the beginnings of the new order take shape?
The first order.
It's the first order, right?
Yeah.
The first new fucking whatever.
The new order's happening in our reality, Corey. It's a different order in this fictional universe.
It's the first order, okay?
Yeah.
And they have a very Nazi-like presence. Let's just say that. When I seen it the first time in The Force Awakens, I was like, not see much. I mean, y'all trying to nail it right on the head. I see what y'all doing. That's all good. But yeah, they blew the shit out of Bo-Katan's place, and I don't know why there won't nobody there. Is y'all's intel that bad? She ain't got nobody there. It's just her. Y'all blew up her seat, man. How's she gonna make it now? Now she got to go and bathe in waters. Good thing she jumped in the water too. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise she wouldn't have no crib to stay at. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I jumped in the waters too. I bathed. So we're gonna go to the ending of this. So Mando and Bo-Katan, they bathed in the waters, and then my man's up there like, I don't believe you. Oh, I got some water in my pocket, and then I guess they got a bowl they poured in. Like, yep, that looks like the living waters. I'm like, but when the last time y'all seen some living waters? Was that it? I could have not even jumped in it. I just got me a scoop. Got me a scoop. Get a scoop of water. Did he jump in? I jumped in. I believe you. This is the way. I'm like, no, this ain't the way. This is dumb. This ain't the way. It's hard for me to believe that it's just that simple. Just go jump in the waters and all's forgiven. How many times can I do this? Roddy, do you know? How many times can I jump in these waters? I'm going to take my helmet off today. Oh, I know where the water's at. I'm going to go jump back in.
Sounds pretty similar to the way that religion and a cult operates, right? You just pray for forgiveness to your God, and then all is forgiven. So you can keep going out and screwing shit up and making bad choices and doing whatever it is that you're doing, as long as you go to church on a Sunday. So now it's the same situation that we have in this show. He can take off his helmet as many times as he wants, as long as he goes back to the living waters and then bathes in the living waters. And it's really interesting too how Bo-Katan was like, she was quick on it. She was like, yes, I bathed in the living waters too. She didn't really want to be the outcast of this whole thing. And I think that was kind of the setup between episode 2 and episode 3, is that she's starting to get her feelings back for this whole cult thing that they got going on here. So yeah, I think
she lost her crew too, so she's kind of felt like she had nobody. So I guess she's trying to reconnect.
She's an outcast. She doesn't know what's going on, so it's easy for her to team up with Mando, and which is a cool thing, because they've gotten rid of all of their side characters that they can really reference back to, which was really interesting. The last time that we reviewed the first episode, I was like, hey, they basically have no side characters to go back to besides that old lady that helped him build his ship, and then boom, in the middle, the very first scene in the second episode is of the old lady.
Yep. That's it. That's what we got. That's what we got. Corey, what is your thoughts? We got Ryder Lee's thoughts. What is your thoughts on the living waters, the quick bathe, how you're quickly accepted back in? I mean, there's nothing else. You don't have to do a trial. You don't have to test your might or anything. I was just like, well, damn, okay.
I just sensed a lot of symbolism and, like most other religions, like a lot of the things that you do, the rituals involved are seemingly from an outside perspective nonsensical, right? So even though there's, the lady could have just been cool and been like, it's all good. You ain't got to go to the waters. You're back in. Just don't take your helmet off again, right? But they didn't do it.
That would have been too simple.
That's just it. Here's the deal. In 99% of all fucking movie plots, like, they don't do something very simple because it would just eliminate the whole fucking movie, right? Like in like Lord of the Rings. Why the hell didn't they just fly on the back of the eagle to the goddamn Mordor, right? They had eliminated 2 movies. But no, they did it because they had to have 3 movies, right? So, of course. So it's the same thing, right? You got to jump through the hoops for the sake of jumping through the hoops.
Well, no, the ring would only burn in the volcano if you made the travel by foot and you went through the plight of making it there. It needed that type of energy in order for it to actually, for the volcano to burn the ring.
I'm sensing some rewriting of history going on here.
Hey, look, man, people keep talking to me about how energy's flowing and all that stuff. I'm trying to feel this energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to feel this kinetic energy they're talking about. That's what your boy trying to do. All right. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. Okay. I'm just like, that lets everybody know behind him. Oh, damn. Well, Mandalore's still there. And shit, man, I've been wanting to take my helmet off for a while, man. Shit, I'm going to take my helmet off. I'm taking my helmet off tomorrow. And I'm going to go bathe. Man, take me to the water so I can bathe.
Well, hold on a second. Let me clarify. I'm pretty sure they can take that stuff off, but not in the presence of others. You got to be by yourself. Like, you can go to sleep with your helmet off, but nobody can see you.
I want to take it off, okay? And I want to do it in front of folks. All right? I'm going to show my ugly mug. You know what I'm saying? You know it stank under that helmet. I mean, he's fucked in that. You know it stank, boy. 90% of the time they got the damn helmet on because they're standing around each other. All they do, they in a cave. They in a cave huddled up together. I'm just like, this what y'all do all day? Well, if we got a contract, we got to do that. I'm like, man, it sounds like a great cult, man. I mean, this sounds like that. Hey, I guess they have sex to have kids. I guess. It seems like there might be only one woman there.
I thought they took in strays. I thought they just picked up strays.
Is that what they do?
I thought.
So you can't even get no good loving. Man, you see, this cult ain't no good. Man, every good cult has something to do with some sex. I mean, shit, man. I mean, all the good ones.
They're into some real BDSM shit. They're just wearing their mask while they're doing the dirty, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Chain me up, use your zip line, you know what I'm saying? Pin me to the wall. pull my mask almost till it comes off, but don't pull it all the way off.
I feel like that's what old girl that's the leader of this cult just needs a good dick down. I think that'll cure all of her problems and she won't be so pissed.
That is how they used to help women years ago, but the doctors would actually do it. So it made it kind of a weird moment right there. Oh, we know what's wrong with you, okay? You need to orgasm. That's it. It's like, oh, how'd you know? I mean, but hey, look, man, folks think that we're perverted now. Oh man, if they went back in history, they just don't understand, man. Folk were doing perverted shit all the time. It was just the norm. You just walk around and do perverted shit all the time. Yeah, you just call somebody a whore in the street. Come here, whore. And it just be right in front of everybody. It'd just be like, you say that now, but folks would be like, well, what the hell all this time? So do you know what year it is? I'm like, no. I mean, no. After March of 2020, I shut everything down. I stopped counting the years. I shut it all down. Yeah. So we don't really know where it's going from here. I guess we're going to get a little bit more of Dr. Perishing. I'm assuming.
I think we're going to get a lot more of him.
Yeah, you know what? The whole cutout, and Rolling Stones actually speaks to this. The whole cutout with Dr. Perishing almost felt like it should have been in Andor. Like it felt more Andorish than Mandalorian. You know.
You mean like written well and pretty entertaining?
How dare you?
What are you trying to say, man? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? Well, yeah. So it just seemed to divert completely away from what we had been seeing for the first 2 episodes. Let's just say that. And the beginning of the 3rd episode. I mean, you go from Bo-Katan's place being bombed and say, oh, we're going to get out of here with light hyperspeed, which I guess TIE fighters ain't got that technology. So they went hyperspeed, and then we go right into Dr. Perishing, and you just like, is Mando going to show up? And it's like, nope, not at all. This is just something totally else. Got nothing to do with Mando. I'm like, okay, I got you. I guess they're going to have to cross paths eventually. It will make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel, was it the Kane, the crazy woman? She's probably got to die at some point in time this season. I say probably near the end. Mandalorian probably has to put her down. Is Grogu going to do anything besides sit in the cart? That's my real question. Right. No. Is Grogu going to do anything?
No,
I need him to use the Force or something. He used it one time, but I mean,
he's just a prop essentially. He's just there to look cute and grab the attention of the children and make money. So far, now I feel like he is going to do something. There's going to be some kind of scene. He's really just there for Mando's helper, and when he's in a tight situation, Grogu comes in and kind of saves the day. So
what I don't like is that Grogu's 50 fucking years old. He shouldn't be acting like a child. He's 50 years old. He's the oldest character in the show.
The thing is, Grogu still don't know no English. I mean, he ain't even saying nothing. He just still make noises. I'm like, Grogu. Even Yoda could speak some English, and that was bad. Try, I did. Failed, I did. I'm like, man, nothing kills me more than in Revenge of the Sith when my man's fighting Palpatine. He get kicked one time. Failed, I did. I said, "Bo, the fight ain't over. Where you going?" I mean, man, he get kicked one time. Oh well, that was it for that. I mean, man, clip me, Bo. I mean, he ain't get cut, arm ain't get cut. He got kicked one time. Fell down. Oh well, I'm skating out of here, bro. I'm done with this fight, man. Y'all, I'm good, man. Y'all have the galaxy. Damn the galaxy. Ain't done shit for me anyway. Damn old ass man. I'm gonna stop playing around. Look, that's the Mandalorian. If y'all guys have any ideas on where this is gonna go, we might be going in 2 separate directions that ends up colliding at the end. But Mando is redeemed. Bo-Katan's redeemed for now. So we see how long she's gonna be able to keep her mask on. She's been used to taking it off for a while now, so it might deem to be difficult for her to fully ingratiate back into this culture. And maybe we see the rest of the Mandalorians do some fighting. From what I seen from the first episode, Mando and Bo-Katan's about the only one that's got any skills, because the rest of them were about to get ate by that damn crocodile or whatever that dinosaur was at the beginning. I mean, that's just all there is to it. So the rest of the Mandalorians, they lack in skill. Okay. So yeah, that's episode 2 and 3. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below on that. If y'all got any Star Wars news, let us know that too. We'll be happy to cover that stuff. Star Wars is a big franchise, has been for godly. When the first come out? 70s, isn't that right? So they're 50 years. Over 50 years.
God, what year? 1977.
Okay. So we're getting close to the 50-year mark worth of Star Wars. So those are always blockbusters. Of course, Disney knows that people they're gonna get eyeballs on Star Wars stuff, except for Andor, because that's something. I think the best things they've done recently has been the Rogue One and the Andor series.
Yeah, and it was made by the same people. The teams who made this were top notch. Like, those people actually were fans of Star Wars. So,
yeah, Yeah, yeah. So that's been the best viewings that I've seen over the past decade. Anything as far as Star Wars wise. So maybe we'll get some more of that with some of the projects Corey was talking about earlier that they got in the wing. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be coming back to y'all with episode. Well, they're not even episode 4. It'll be chapter 20. I keep saying episode 2 and 3. We did chapter 18 and 19 tonight. It'll be chapter 20. Because they don't want to do episodes, do chapters. So chapter 20 be next week. We'll come to y'all with that. So we appreciate everybody for checking us out this week for our mashup of chapter 18 and 19. We'll catch y'all on next week's Showtime with the Cube from boy HQ420, Corey Hughes, Ryder Lee. Oh yeah, we got Shazam coming out. Y'all probably pirate a copy. Not pirate. I mean, find a copy that you paid for, and it just happens to show up on your computer. I'll watch it Friday, and the guys will find something. So yep, we'll catch you on the next Showtime with the Cube. Peace out.